Alright. Howdy. Now that we've talked about some of the bad Netflix cartoons, let's discuss the animation that really pushes the envelope of streaming television, with creative ideas, stylized designs, complex characters, and gripping stories. So this is what I consider the top 6 best Netflix cartoons. Here we go. Number 6. Dragons. Alright. I was really looking forward to checking out this Netflix Dreamworks series. I really enjoyed the original How to Train Your Dragon movies. I liked the diplomatic nature of the main character Hiccup, the smart writing, and the breathtaking scenery. And I was not disappointed with the Netflix series. Dragons is a fantastic example of flash and substance. We don't often see main characters like Hiccup. He's not a cliched, rambunctious teenager. He's calm, controlled, disciplined, and wise, but still a very flawed person who makes mistakes. I honestly don't feel like Hiccup fits into any particular stereotype or cliche. He feels like a very real young man.
Oh no.
I admire how Dreamworks tried something completely different here to what they normally do with their movies. Unlike Shrek, Shark Tale, Shrek 2, Trolls, Shrek 3, 4, 5, you get the point. I don't feel like I'm watching a celebrity voice actor just push cheap jokes on me amidst every cliche pop song they can fit. There's this real sense of wonder and mystery to the Dragon World that actually immerses me, without that constant need to give obnoxious winks to the camera all the way through. And the ambience of the sound and music. Jeebus. You know when that explosion sound is so convincing that you can feel it rumbling in your gut? It's just breathtaking. There is no good versus evil or easy choices in this. It's very much like real life, where there is rarely right choices, only careful weighing about which choice will cause the least harm. Even if you're not planning to watch the entire series, check out the first 4 minutes of Dragons to at least see how breathtaking a Netflix cartoon can be. And for number 4, Little Witch Academia. Damn, this one has got a beautiful color scheme. It's got likable characters and doesn't contain some of the traditional eye-roll Japanimation cliches like fan service. I love the colors, I love the character design. There's this sense of traditional Disney subtly blended into Little Witch Academia. For anyone who enjoys some Japanimation, I'd also definitely recommend this one. And the 4th best Netflix. Castlevania. Cinematic, atmospheric, beautiful voice acting.
What have you done? Satan! What have you done to my wife?
This is a gothic, dark, but compelling piece of art. But just a warning ahead, this one is definitely for over 18s only. It's heavy, gory, and very bloody. We follow the adventures of Trevor Belmont, based on the Castlevania 2 video game from 1989. After Dracula's wife is burned at the stake by religious zealots, Dracula casts his revenge on the town. A very bloody, horrific mass genocide revenge on the innocents. So reluctant demon hunter Trevor sets out to wipe out Dracula and his forces of evil. Sorry, I just couldn't resist. Trevor is smooth and smarmy and reluctantly helps out in towns he goes to, knowing without fail that wherever he goes, everyone and everything will want to kill him.
I realize you're trying to menacingly abduct me, but I'm excommunicated.
You can probably tell just by looking, the art design is beautiful, with a dark but aesthetically stunning gothic twist. This is the kind of voice acting that isn't just good. It's the kind that sends shivers down my spine, it's so good.
He
who loved you humans and cared for your ills. Take your family and leave Wallachia tonight. Pack and go, and do not look back.
There's drama, questions about morality, and a very healthy questioning of the Church and the Vatican. But again, this one is definitely not for under 18s or more sensitive viewers. So if you're anything like me and a bit squeamish, it may be tough for you to stomach some of the slaughter scenes, and believe me, there's a few. But it's grotesque for a reason. People will lose eyes, there'll be decapitation, genocide, you name it. But it's to assist in selling the urgency and heaviness of Trevor's story. Castlevania is a cartoon that was not just about money, it was about creating a memorable, artistic, beautiful piece of animation. And the third, Voltron, Legendary Defender. Jeebus, another Dreamworks cartoon. Dreamworks is owning the Netflix market. This time they've got two of the creators from Avatar and Legend of Korra on their team, including Joaquim dos Santos, the director and producer of both Avatar and Legend of Korra. The result? Voltron Legendary Defender. Interstellar madness mixed with Japanese animation and a definite Avatar feel thrown in. And while I'm not normally a big fan of mecha anime, the creators really get it right in this one. There's a real weight to the movement of the mechas, and they feel massive. Like they shake the ground with a thunder on every step. It's quite intense to behold. I never watched Voltron before, but the comedy is good, the action is strong. As far as remakes goes, this really blew me away. I tend to draw comparisons when I watch this to Avatar, because the comedy, story, animation, and overall structure, like Avatar, is very inspired by Japan. The story? Well, there's a plethora of lore and backstory behind this one. But essentially, 5 teenage space pilots in their military training stumble upon the mecha known as Blue Lion and get caught up fighting in the Gowran War. While at first they use the Blue Lion mecha to fight back, they eventually each get their own mecha lines to form Voltron.
Born Voltron!
To fight the sinister and dark Emperor Zarkon. All that good stuff. And while I personally preferred Legend of Korra, this felt like an epic sci-fi action fantasy. You can tell the creators really put their heart into this one, showing that deep affection for Japan, but also acknowledgement of their Western roots. It's very aesthetically pleasing that way. Voltron to me feels like Power Rangers Avatar, which is a combination that surprisingly works really well. And the second best Netflix, Troll Hunters. Perfect ambient lighting, a really likable, believable main character, a beautiful soundtrack, a strong sense of mystique, gorgeous scenery. Jeebus, this series was strong. In this world, trolls live secretly underneath our own, and our 15-year-old hero Jack finds an amulet which transforms him into the mystical Troll Hunter, allowing him to protect trolls from dark trolls.
Nope.
Assisted by his guides Blinky and Arg. No, I didn't just step on a tack, that's the actual name of the second troll. Arg. Interestingly, the main troll is voiced by Kelsey Grammer, who fits the grandiose role perfectly and gives a nice, satisfying, hammy performance, like we'd expect from Sideshow Bob.
This is the world you are bound to protect. This is Hearthstone Troll Market.
I found Jack a little bit like Hiccup in that he's socially responsible, overgiving, but still acts young and relatively believable, and I found myself cheering him on. I was blown away by the sense of urgency and suspense to Troll Hunters. Every episode I was left itching to see what happened next. The battle scenes, the mystery, the enjoyable characters. Dreamworks really gave Troll Hunter a strong sense of style, and every episode leaves on a strong cliffhanger. A round of applause to Netflix and Dreamworks for this one. Troll Hunters feels like a fresh, original triumph of animation in the new age of streaming television. I still think the #1 best. Bojack Horseman. Some people probably knew I'd pick this for #1, and I can't help it. To me, it just remains the best. And this isn't just my favorite Netflix show. This is also the CEO of Netflix's favorite too. And there's a reason for that. Since I've already talked about the sheer intensity, beauty, emotional resonance, and unforgettable drama of Bojack, I decided I'll focus on the 4th season and how it continues to create a new golden standard for adult animation. The 4th season of Bojack remains ruthlessly blunt, but deeply profound. It expands on each character, on Bojack's history, where some of his trauma and habits originated from. And the entire season is like a slowly building mystery, filled with terror, dread, tragedy, and comedy. Bojack's daughter, Hollyhock, is a welcome addition to the series. She's lazy like Bojack, but good-hearted and earnest, really feeling like an actual modern teenager that Bojack clumsily tries to help and father throughout the season. As it progresses, we get the usual funny commentaries on celebrities, politicians, Hollywood, relationships, you name it. All while echoes of an eerie, disturbing past of tragedy resonate through Bojack as he uncovers his family's history and tries to track down Hollyhock's mother. And all the fear and trauma of Bojack's past begins to build up, originating in one single event that destroyed Bojack's family, leaving generations of trauma and abuse in its wake. The lobotomy on Bojack's grandmother.
Promise me you'll never love anyone as much as I loved Crackerjack.
I promise.
You're a piece of garbage, a real shitty piece of garbage. Okay, think, idiot.
All orchestrated and exacerbated by one evil, ruthless man, Bojack's grandfather. And Bojack's fundamental goal is to fight to end that cycle of generational trauma at him, to be a good role model to Hollyhock, to just be able to enjoy his day, to like himself, to not further punish the victims of the past, but to accept them as they are now. Bojack is a series I can look back on not just months later, but years later, and still feel crushed or moved by a particular scene, or an entire episode. And with each new season, it surprises me with new concepts, twists, clever story arcs, and comedy. And I personally think it remains the absolute best Netflix cartoon.
What a fun adventure this all is.
You know what is fun? You coming with me to my first day on my new show.
It really is refreshing to see such a wide array of creative modern cartoons like these with so much effort put into them. And so far, they're actually the majority of Netflix animated originals. While streaming animation is still in its early stages, it's off to a great start, giving birth to a new form of direct stream entertainment with a high television standard of quality that simply didn't exist in animation 20 years ago. And I think it shows we've got a lot more great animation to look forward to in the future. Well, thanks for checking out my list. If you think I missed a particularly good Netflix cartoon, let me know in the comments.
And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next.